Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video I will talk about the reduce method of stream API and we will try to understand how this reduce will work. So the reduce method, when you talk about, basically what it does is based on your operator, right? Based on your operator, your any list of object or collections of object will get reduced based on the operator what you write, right? So what I'm trying to say that, let's say if you look at, you have here list of a string, right? And since it is the list, so I can call a stream, and when I'm calling a stream, there's a method called reduce method. So reduce method, if you'll go inside the reduce method takes binary operator as an argument, and when you go inside the binary operator, it has mean by, max by. There are two method, mean by and max by, but internally it extends by bi function, right? So again, when you go inside bi function, you will have method called apply. So if you look at the apply method, which takes two argument, and the return type of the apply method is nothing but a third one. So let's say you supply two object, and whatever object you want as a return type, you can supply as a third object when you create a bi functions, right? By function. So now let's go back and we'll try to understand. So the same thing, if you look at, same thing is happening here, and probably I can show you by writing a bi function, so you will not have any confusion. This is a by function, okay? You can see that. So let's say my first input is a string object, my second is also a string object, and my return type is also a string object. So guys, this bi functions I have covered in details in my previous video when I was talking about the functional interface. Please do refer if you have any doubt. So you know that this takes two input, right? This by function has apply method which takes two input, which means I need to write the implementations for the apply method. So a comma b, right? Both the type is going to be the string, and let's say I can convert this a comma b into, let's say, what I can do a dot, since it is a string, I can do concat, right, b. So this is my return type, right? Intentionally I have written one by function, just I wanted to show you. Similarly, if you look at here in the reduce, what is happening is, this is the to string, okay? This is the to string, and I will check if the first string length is greater than the second string, okay? If this condition is fulfilled, then return a or return b, right? So what happens when you run a stream, right? When you, the moment you call the stream on the list, internally it runs a loop, and these expressions will get evaluated for each and every string. Now what is the output you are going to get? Your output, you are going to get this output, right? Because this string has a length which is greater than all the string, you can see that, right? And the return type of this reduce method, when you press Ctrl click on reduce, the return type, if you look at, it's a optional of t, which means it's a optional of the object which your list has. So your list has a string object, so it will give you optional of a string. Now that is the reason return type is the optional of a string. Now optional has a method called get method. When you say get, it will give you the string which got evaluated after this expression, after this function, right? Let me run this and you will see output is going to be, see here, a8, I mean 5a, because this length is the higher among all this string. So now you got it. Like reduce will basically will help you to evaluate your bi functions, right? Your by functions, and it will give you the output out of which, right? It will give you the output. Now look at the second example. Here if you look at, we have a list, okay? get list of students underscore 1. So there is a one method which I have designed. So this I have already explained when I was talking about. So what I have here is, again I will go back and I'll tell you, there is a student class. It has two instance variables, name and age, and then of course you have getter, setter, and then you have here, you can see that two constructor, and then I am there are print methods which I have already explained. This I will not cover here. And then this hash code and equals, I am overriding it. Why I have overriding is this I have told also when I was talking about one of the example. Okay, so here we will just focus on this method. So what this method will do is, this method will give you one list which has a string data, and this method is a static in nature, so I can call by using the class reference name, right? So go back here. When you will go to the example number second, I am calling that get list of students, which will give me list of a string. Right now, since it is the list, I can call a string, and then I can call this method reduce. So here what I am trying to do, that is I am writing one the BI functions. Okay, what it will do, my all the string, whatever string I have, should get concatenated with this star star, right? So if I will print the list here, what is your actual list? If I will, sorry, this is your actual list. So first focus on the first output, the line number 20. So this is your actual list. You can see that this is your actual list. Now when you perform reduce on this actual list by supplying, you want to concatenate the string with the star star, right? So reduce method, you know that return type of the reduce method is the optional of object, and your list has a string object, so you'll get optional of a string. And then there is one method call on this optional, there is a method called each present. So the each present return type is the boolean. So press control, click. So you can see that each present return type is the boolean. So if let's say there is a data in the optional of a string, yes, then get that. So get that string, right? So here what output, see here your entire string. In the previous example we had condition like if length is greater then print A or print B. This was the conditions in the previous example. So these conditions was getting evaluated and you got only one string out of this list of a string. But here you are concatenating the entire string with a star star. So here the output will not be the same. Here output will be different, where your entire list of data will get concatenated by a star star. You can see that entire list is getting concatenated by star. So reduce, basically you know, it will help you to reduce to a particular conditions, particular BI function. Now example 3, focus on this example 3. So this is again the student class has a method called get list of students. So the get list of students will give you the list of student object, right? This will give you the list of a student object which has list has the student object and which has a name and age, right? Now if you'll go back and if you look at the example number 3, so once I will have this list of a student object, and this is the one where I am writing one comparator. Okay, comparator, here I want to compare by the name. So comparator has a default method called comparing. This comparing I want to compare by the get name, right? Comparator, here it will help us to compare your list of a student object. Basically it will sort your list of a student object by the name, right? So what it will do, it will sort your list by the name. Now this is your name comparator, right? Now understand, list dot stream. So on the list, since it is the list, I can call a stream. So here the return type is going to be a stream of a student. Why I am saying that, when you write like this, you know what is the return type of this? It is going to be a stream of a student, student, and then so let's say you just write some list1 is equal to this. Okay, so you can see that when you on any list, when you call dot stream, basically it will give you the stream of object, and here in your list it's a student object, so you are getting that a stream of a student object. Then you are calling a collect method, so you are trying to collect the data from the stream. Now this is very important. When you do a collect method, inside the collect method, generally what you do when you press on collect method, it requires collector, right? It requires collectors. So when it requires collector, you have a class called collectors, and then collectors has a method called group by. So group by I will cover separate also. Here I will give you the idea of okay how it works. So I am saying that inside the collect you call a collectors dot group by. So how do you want to group that, right? How do you want to group that? So now first go and understand list of students. So list of students, you have a lot of a student object in the list, and you can look at here, some of the student has the same age. Okay, some of the student has the same age, 10 10 10. Okay, I want to group them by the age, and I want to count that how many students has the same age. Okay, so now when you say group by, so your group by, when you just press control and click on group by, if you look at here, it takes a function and again it takes a collector, right? It takes a function, it takes a collector, and the return type, you guys can see that it's a collector. Return type is the collector. Collector of what? Collector of object and map. Okay, collector of object and map. Focus here, this is very important. Collector of object and map. Once I'll explain you through code, you will understand. So group by, so I am saying that, so if you go to the group by, this is my function, right? So I'm writing a functions, you group them by a student class. You group them by the student class. So when you say student colon get class, so what will happen is on the runtime this will give one a student class object. Okay, on the runtime this will give you the student class object, and this is actually a functions. So that's how we can write a functions, right? I want a student object on the runtime, so I'm saying that group them all your student object by comma, right? Comma, because group by will take a function and collector, right? One more collector we have to write. So collectors dot reducing. So here I am using that reducing method. So inside this group by, you use collectors dot reducing. Okay, and then we know that binary operator has a method called max by, right? We have seen that. Press control, click on binary operator. You know that this has a method called min by and max by. That is the reason I say do not miss any sequence of the video. You will get confusion. But yes, if you would have watched in the sequence, you will not get any confusion. So in this reducing, you know that guys, in the reducing, what it expects? In reducing, it expects binary operator. See here I am not using reduce, I am using reducing. Okay, it expects binary operator. So I am saying that binary operator dot max by. What max by? So again max by will take what? It will take comparator. Max by will take a comparator, and you can see that I have written one comparator here. Okay, so this will do your list sorting based on the name. So I am supplying this comparator here, right? So what is the outcome of this? If you look at this entire thing, if you look at the entire thing, your outcome, your outcome is going to be the max by. So the max by outcome is what? It's a binary operator, right? Binary operator. So this will give the binary operator, but finally what outcome you should get? See, entire things, when you are doing that, inside the collect you are doing that grouping by, then inside the grouping by you are doing that reducing, right? You are reducing it. Now the group by, what is the return type of the group by? So collector of t, which means the object which your list has, and then map. Okay, now come back, go and delete this return type. Just delete this return type, press control and click on create local variable. So what is the return type? It's a map of object. So this is the object, guys. This is the student object. So I can write here a student also. I should not get any problem. A student and then optional of a student. Why it is complaining? Okay, it is asking me to make it as a generic. Okay, that's fine. I'll go back and I'll change to a generic, right? So it will take whatever object will come from here. So what is the return type, guys? So return type of this entire function is nothing but map of object comma optional. Clear? Since it is the map, I can run map.forEach, and you know that since it is the map, this map will take one by function. Okay, so here when you press control click on for each, see it takes by consumer, right? Let me show you by writing a by consumer here so that you will not have any confusion. By consumer, anyway, this everything I have covered in very details. So in by consumer, what data you have, right? So you have your key is nothing but a string and the value is the integer, right? Because if you look at the student, in the student, this is the key. So in a student has the list, and list has, let's say, string data, right? Sorry, one is the string and one is the integer data. One is the string and one is the integer data. So can I write here one by consumer? You take this first input as a string, second you take as a integer, and then you write a consumer is equal to, let's say, key comma value, and then you write here SYSO, and we can write here, so this is the key and this is the value. Okay, and here what happens is your key, so when you say key and value, so basically in this case what is happening is your key on the map, you are running that key and value pair, right? So key is your this object, and the value is what? Value is optional of a student, right? So here the concept is different, but here since it is a key value pair, I can actually print both. Okay, I will just print k plus, space plus value, right? So that's how we write a by consumer. You understood? That's how we write a by consumer. Same thing, now you correlate here. So here you have a key and you have a value. So your key is this. Okay, your key is this, and your value is optional of a student. So when you have a key and value pair, I'm just writing a print statement and I'm saying that class key. So basically this is the type of object, right? It's a student object k, and then age. So what is the age? So from the value, since it is the optional of a student, on the optional has a method called get method, which will give you the student object from the optional. So when you say v.get, you will get the student object, and since it is the student object, you can call get age, right? Plus name is equal to v.get, again it will give you the student object, and then you can call a name. Now let's run this, you will understand, right? What I'm trying to say, that you will understand. See, look at here, it's a student class, age is equal to 50, name is equal to test5. You understood how this works, right? So whatever key you have printed, so this key actually it's a student class. You can see that a student class, age is this, and then name is 50, right? So why you got only one output, guys? We need to understand here, why did we get only one output? The reason being is because when we have written this reducing, in this reducings we are doing that max by. Okay, in the reducings I am doing that max by, and then whatever it comes I am doing that collectors dot grouping by. And you know that when you have a grouping by, the moment you will have a grouping by, you see that what output you will get? You will get the type of object, right? You have which in the list, which is nothing but a student object, and then you will get a map, right? Then you will get a map, right? Then you will get a map when you say grouping by. So that is the reason when I run a for each loop, and this is my key and this is my value. From the value, it's a optional of a student, I can call like this. So here also again I can do that k dot get class dot, I can just write get simple name, right? So when I just print dot get class dot get simple name, here it will just give me class colon class. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me just try get name. Get it should not give me the class, it should give the student, right? It's a Java lang class. Okay, got it. So when I say k dot get class dot get name, right? So k dot get class dot get name is giving me the string, right? It is giving me the string. You can see that Java lang class. Or since okay, so here I just wanted to show you, because earlier if you look at, I was just printing the k, okay, I was just printing the k, and when I run that, you can see here it's a method name dot. Here when I was running, I was getting that this is the package name dot a student and then age and name, right? So I just, instead of printing this, I just wanted to print a student. So I thought of trying some class method what we have, but didn't work. Okay, didn't work. It is giving me Java lang class type. That's fine, because here my main intention was to teach you how reducing works and how you can group them by the condition. So when I will talk about the grouping by in the separate topic altogether, there I'll give you the lot of example, guys. So here my intent was to teach you how reducing works, right? So you can see that you had lot of students object, and finally it got reduced to only one based on the conditions what your reducing has. That's what my aim was. Now look at the other example. So this example, it's a self-explanatory. I think this example, did I cover in example second? Yeah, I think I covered. So I'm just concatenating with star star. So by mistake in the fourth example, the same got repeated. Okay, where when I say get list of students, guys, so basically this will give you the list of a string, right, which has list of a string of data, and I'm just concatenating with star star. So since it is the list, I can call a stream, and when I say dot reduce, so dot reduce, but there is one conditions, guys. Okay, got it, why I took this example. This is quite different. So if you look at this, reduce is the, it's a overloaded method. So the another one is the identity and then operator, right? Earlier whatever I told you, the reduce method in example number second, where I was just reducing it, okay, by using binary operator, okay. But here in example number 4, I am reducing that by using some identity, which is nothing but the object on which you are performing the reduce, and then operator. So here what happens is, when it is the identity, I am trying to reduce with the identity is equal to test, which means this test will get appended with this string, right? And this test will be the identity, because test is a string, right? So this string will also get appended with this string, like it will get concatenated with the string. So you can see that, see, test came here, right? So whatever you write, it will get added in the beginning, and then star star a c c d d e and b b. So that's the difference, guys. So this, let's say you want to reduce your list of a stream into a single string. So let's say you have a list of data, right? Now from this list of data you want a single string, and you want to do some concatenations, and you want to prefix with some other identity. You can use this method, reduce method, because it's a overloaded method. The second method will take identity, and then it will take binary operator, right? In example number 5, guys, here we will try to focus. So it is array, it is an integer array, you know that. So integer array, first I need to convert into the stream, then only I can make use of the stream API method. So there is a method called arrays.stream. Okay, when you say arrays.stream and when you supply this array, this will get converted to the stream. So let me show you. Just put a colon here and store this data into a variable. You can see that it got converted into the int stream, right? Which means it got converted to the stream now. Now I can make use of the stream API method. So reduce method. So in reduce method, what I'm trying to do that is I am trying to add this, right? Add this number. You can see that in this reduce, I'm trying to add the number, because reduce takes, here it will take int binary operator. Okay, and when you go inside the int binary operator, you can see that it has a method called apply as int and left and right. So it will take two argument like left and right, and whatever implementations you will write, it will perform. So apply as int method, I am saying that go and sum it. Okay, so I'm writing that sum these two number, and then I'm saying that after sum, if any data present, then just print the data. Okay, this is one way of doing that. The second, guys, how you can do that, the same int stream you can write dot reduce, and this is also the way of writing int stream. Okay, sorry, int binary operator. Okay, this is also the way of writing int binary operator. Basically, you know that you can write this as a method reference, and this will act like a function. In Java 8, in the stream API, this will act like a function. So you are saying that from your wrapper class integer, call the sum method. So you know that sum method generally what it will take? It will take a two argument and it will sum that. So this function is very smart enough to understand it has to pick up the number from this array and it has to sum it. So when you say int colon sum, and you just show you press control click on sum, so you can see that, see, this is the sum method, guys. So if you go inside the integer dot class, there is a sum method which will take two argument and it will sum the number. Okay, and the return type is the int here, guys. You can see that. So now your function is very smart to understand that what it has to do. So it will take the number one by one from this list, it will sum it, and since it is the stream, so it will run a loop, it will sum your entire list. It will sum your entire list, and then I'm saying that dot if present, like sum is present, then print it. So let me run that, and you can see that in both the cases output is going to be the same, guys, 51 51. So why I wrote both, because just I wanted to tell you. So either you can write like this, okay, or you can write like this. Both functions will work fine, because here also for two argument you are summing it, here also for two argument you are just calling the method from the integer wrapper class. So this sum method will take two argument and it will sum it. So basically how it works, on this stream one by one data will get supplied here in the sum. So in beginning it will how it will go, it will go 0, 3. In beginning it will go 0 plus 3. Then whatever outcome will come from this sum, then it will go that number 3 and then next number 4. So both will get sum. Then whatever sum will come, then 7 5 it will get sum. So whatever outcome will come from one summation, it will go as an input to the second summation. But in beginning, how it will go? It will go 0, 3. Okay, guys, clear? In beginning, it will go 0, 3. Then it will sum it. Then whatever outcome will come, then it will go that number, 4. Then again sum it. Then again summed number, then 5. That's how it is. So we'll get 51, guys. Let's see that example number 6, guys. This is also a simple one. Where here what you have is, you have an array of integer, and then you know that arrays dot stream, and when you supply this array, this guy will get converted into an int stream, and then you can call a reduce method. So reduce method, guys, it's an overloaded method. Again here if you look at, it takes an identity and then binary operator. So again here you can supply the identity. So identity, whatever you will write, see guys, Java documentations are very nice. Whatever sum, mean, max, average, you can do like this. Okay, you can just see, you can see that they have given the example also, right? You can read everything in the Java documentations. Either you can write like this or you can write like this, both works fine. You can see that the Java documentations, how nicely they have written. So you can always refer Java documentations if you want to have the sound knowledge, right? So come back to the example. Here again in this reduce I have the identity. Identity is of type integer. Like what is the start value? What is the start value I want to keep? So I want to keep a start value 100, and whatever sum will come I want to add 100 to that sum. Okay, that's how it is. The second will also same thing, just I used integer colon sum, so that I wanted to show you, like either I can write like this in the reduce int binary operator. Okay, so this int binary operator, either I can write the complete implementations like this, or I can also write, I can call the sum method from the integer wrapper class, because you guys know that this int binary operator, when you go inside that, it has a method called apply as int. So whatever function you write, basically it's a implementations of this method apply as int. Okay, it's a implementations of this method, guys. Come back. So when you again go back and see that, so this is the implementations of apply as int. Now look at the third one. Why I have written third one? Because third one I have created one method add data, which will take 2 argument and it will add that. So again on the stream I am calling that reduce start value same 100, and I am calling that example6 colon add data, because it's a static method. I can call through class reference. Okay, I can call through class reference. So here my function is smart enough to understand when you will run this stream, one by one the data will get picked up. So in beginning it will go 0,21, whatever outcome will come from here, it will get supplied input to the next. Okay, so 0,21 plus will be 21, then again it will go 21, 40, then 61, then go 61, 14, then again whatever sum will come that, 7, then again whatever sum will come that, 31, and these operations will be performed. So let's run that. If you look at all three, output is going to be the same, 213, 213, 213. So just I wanted to show you the different way how you can perform the reduce, right? And reduce is helping you basically to reduce your list of like a stream of object into a single data based on the conditions, right? You can see that everything is getting reduced to a single object, guys. That's the intent of reduce. Now example number 7, guys, if you focus here, so you have one buy function. Okay, the buy functions, you know that it takes 3 argument. So I'm saying that supply integer I'm expecting the output as an integer. So a comma b colon a into b, and then this is the binary operator. So binary operator also I'm doing that a comma b, after arrow mark I'm doing that a into b. So this is my list. Okay, this is my list, add as a list. Now when you go to the reduce method, guys, so reduce method, what happens is when you say list2.stream.reduce, so this reduce has a third method. So there are 3 methods in the reduce. One it will take only binary operator. The second one will take identity and binary operator. The third one will take identity, this one buy function and binary operator. 3 argument it will take. Okay, this is the accumulator, this is the combiner, and this is the identity, guys, right? If you want to read, you can read the Java documentations, it's up to you, or I have already given these methods in my notes, you can read that. Let's try to understand through the example, then only you will understand, otherwise you will not understand. So this reduce, you know that it takes 3 argument. One is identity, I am saying that 2, which is nothing but integer. Then it takes buy function. So in buy functions I am saying that multiply, and then the third one is the, what is the third one? It's a combiner. So this is the accumulator, this is the combiner. Okay, the third one I am saying that you supply as a binary operator, which is nothing but the operator. You know how this works, guys? So if you look at here, this stream is sequential stream. Okay, it's not a parallel stream. So how this works is, this is your beginning data 2, right? And what you are trying to do here, you are doing multiply, right? So basically when you use sequential stream, this is of no use. Okay, because here why I am saying that this is of no use, this combiner, what it will combine, if it is a parallel stream, then only it will combine. But you are doing that things in the sequence, so there is nothing, there is no data which this binary operator will hold and it will combine by through the so there is no data which this binary operator will hold and it will combine with different thread, okay, because you are running the sequence, so there is nothing to combine with the other thread, right? So this will be useful only when if you are running on a stream in the parallel. That also I will show you. So look at here, you know how this works, guys. So in beginning what will happen is, here when you do a sum, you know what happens in beginning, this bi functions, it requires two input, right? It will go 1 3 in beginning. So 1 into 3 is nothing but 3. So whatever output will come to this binary functions, again it will go inside because you are running a stream. So 3 into 2, 6, right? So 3 into 2 is 6, it became 6. Now again whatever 6 you got, it will go and it will again multiply 6 into 2, which is nothing but 12, and then your identity is 2. So whatever you are doing that multiply, it will get multiplied by 2. So your output will be 24, right? Output will be 24 to this reduce. But look at here, there is something called parallel stream. So here what happens is, in parallel stream, your all whatever stream of data you have, it will get started in one shot, okay? Whatever stream of data you will have, it will get started in one shot. And how this works is, right, how this works is, this function will get evaluated because it's a parallel stream. So like every thread is working independent, okay? So it will get evaluated. So but the problem here is, guys, in the parallel stream you cannot say that what it will go as a first, okay? From this list what it will go as a first, you cannot predict that, okay? So first we need to understand, guys, one thing is, when this parallel stream will start, how this will work, that we need to understand, okay? So when the parallel stream will start, this will not go as a 3, 2, 2, okay? This will pick up very random, and when it will pick up very random, your output will change. So when I was running that, you know how it was picking this parallel stream, it was picking like this. So how I came to this number, you might be wondering like why I have written like this. The reason, first I will explain you and then I will tell you, okay? So you have 2 and then same bi function, same operator. So here what happens, so let's say first time in the parallel stream 2 came, okay? 2 came. So 2 into 1, which is nothing but 2, and then since it is a parallel stream, it will get multiplied by 2, so which is nothing but 4. So this operator will hold the 4. You can see that 4, you got 4. Now second time again 2 came, 4 into 2, again the same binary functions will get evaluated. 4 into 2, which is nothing but 8, and into, again it's a parallel stream, that thread will finish the work, into 2, it will go as a 16, okay? 16. So now this binary operator will hold 16 because it is the parallel stream, so there should be one holder. So this guy is holding the data, this binary operator is holding the data, set as 16. Now again 16, and the third time 3 came, so 16 into 3, okay, into, again it should be multiplied by 2, so 96. So here the output is going to be a 96, okay? Here the output is going to be a 96. And yeah, here if you look at both the output, rest and rest 1, so since here you are running in the parallel stream, so you are running entire stream parallel, and here you are running a sequential. So here if you look at, one output is going to be 24 and other output is going to be a 96. So let me run this. You can see that 24 and 96, okay? 24 and 96. Second thing, I wanted to tell you why I am saying that in parallel stream it will run like this, right? There is a reason for that, guys, okay? Let me comment this. So just to explain you what I did on the same list 2, I just called dot parallel stream. So parallel stream still I have not covered, I will cover in the different chapter altogether. So when you say dot parallel stream dot for each, I'm just running a for each loop, guys. So what it will do, it will run your data in the parallel and it will print the data. This is parallel, and this again I'm calling a for each loop on the same the list, right? On the same list I'm calling a stream.forEach. So this will run a sequential. And if you look at both the output, you can see that why I'm saying that in parallel the way execution will happen, it is quite different, and on that your output will change, guys. So look at here, this is your 232. So 232 in case of parallel stream, okay, you got 232, but in case of sequential, what did you get? You get 322. So you can see that it's a 232 and 322, right? Again run that second time. See, now 223 and 322. You got my point. So in parallel stream, you cannot predict that, like how your data will get processed, guys, in the parallel stream, because it's very hard to predict like what output will come in every run. So in every run you cannot predict that what output is going to become, but in the sequential, yes, you can predict that. That is the reason your this output will change, right? That is the reason. So it will change. So now it came 96 because it's a 2 to 3. Now if I will again run, it's 2 to 3 again. Let me run couple of time. So again 2 to 3, like it's not changing now. And now since it is the 2 to 3, so whatever I explained you here, since it came as a 2 to 3, whatever I have explained you, it will work like this, because you know every thread is independent. So it will come 2 into 1 into 2, which is nothing but 4. So in the first thread output is giving you 4, that will be stored here. Then again 4 into second time, what is the data? It is 2 again, right? Second time again 2 data, it will go as a input to this by function, right? So 4 and 2 it will go as a input. So 4 into 2 is equal to 8, and this is the identity. It will get multiplied by 2, 16, and then again it will go 16, and the remaining one is 3. So 16 into 3 into 2 is equal to 96. So that's how, guys, it works. So that's how reduce will help you to reduce your list of object into a single data based on the reduce condition. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you for watching this.